scabs of peeling paint to separate from the concrete. The ceiling fans looked nice, at least, even if they didn't move. The police officers didn't seem to mind the heat. They still marched around in their tight blue uniforms, felt berets, and high black boots, passing through the station's front doors with straight backs as if they were puppets on strings. The few officers who did look hot sat in the front doorway, their uncurled legs bridging the divide between the floors of the station and the dirt of the parking lot outside. None of the officers seemed to notice Yabom. Her small body cowered over the phone she cupped in her hand. Another ring. Silence. Ring. The static coming through the phone sounded tin canny, as if the person she was trying to reach was far away. If Yabom had just been allowed to step outside and walk to Old Post, she would have been able to reach the neighborhood in just a few minutes. But the officer dealing with her case had told her she couldn't leave, not even to ask a friend for a favor, not even to tell her kids what had happened. Yabom had crossed a line. She owed too much money, had waited too long to pay it back. Hers was a criminal matter now. If she didn't have the money today, and clearly she didn't, they'd have to investigate the case. She would remain in their custody while they did. Yabom knew not to argue. She had tried that before and was slapped with fines she didn't understand or have the means to pay. This time, she gave a "yes, sir," and asked if she could use a phone for just a minute. She had to figure out what to do with her kids. On her way into town earlier that morning, Yabom's friend Musu had brought her small black cell phone to the charging station around the corner from her house. When Musu placed it down on the wooden kiosk, the man who operated the shop looked up from his own phone in silent greeting. He needed 20 cents to charge the phone for the day, or for as long as the electricity would last. Musu plugged the phone into a black charger attached to a long white power strip. Its battery bars blinked, then began to swell. Satisfied, Musu walked down the dirt road that led out of Old Post and toward the center of Koidu, where diamond shops lined Post Office Road, a main thoroughfare. Even though the shops are not as plentiful as they once were, the town is still famous for the minerals, which made the region a critical and violent site of the country's civil war. Throughout the conflict, the district was intermittently controlled by rebels, then recaptured by the Sierra Leone army, both of whom killed, raped, and maimed business people, local chiefs, government officials, diamond sellers, mothers, and children. Thousands of people left Kono, most often to relatively safe Freetown or to neighboring Guinea. Some who stayed were forced to mine, sifting through wet buckets of earth for rocks, whose profits further fueled the war. When it all finally ended, Kono emerged destroyed and shrunken. Whole villages had been displaced. Farms had been neglected for years. Homes and schools had been destroyed. People like to tell stories about what Koidu was like before all that. They talk of bustling commerce that attracted visitors from across West Africa, robust farms, thriving private doctors' practices, grand houses, pool parties attended by the town's wealthy elite. They used to call Koidu the Paris of West Africa, one older Kono man told me as we sat in the city's worn-out downtown. Maybe it will be...